loud and vibrant as it usually is here in the Cochran Gymnasium. The second thing, if you want to look at, this is the second meeting that between Hamilton and Hastings. And if you look at the final score, you see Hastings with a 14-point margin of victory. However, that was the margin Hastings was leading at halftime. And in the second half, Hamilton kept the game close. And if you talk to Coach Ward, overheard him talking to Coach Watson here in Hamilton, saying that they were very fortunate to come away with a 14-point victory. Hamilton only 6-11, so they're very athletic. They have a proud tradition. Hastings-Hamilton is a rivalry that goes back to when you were playing, Keith, and when I was in high school. So Friday night, late January, league championships on the line, sectional seedings on the line. Should be a very exciting matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking for the same. You know, Michael McDuffie's a 6'4" junior. He plays in the middle. He's averaging 15 points a game, but he scored 20 points in the first meeting between the two clubs. Also, Brent Palladio, he's a point guard for Hamilton. He's only 5'5" tall, but I know Coach Drew Watson from Hamilton is looking for big things from him in his career. He's very pleased with how Palladio runs the offense for the Red Raiders, and he's a lot quicker than anybody on the Hastings floor. The thing that's impressive about that is that Jimmy Segru and Danny Blake are both very quick players. They're usually the fastest and quickest guards on the floor. That's not going to be the case tonight. So I'll be interesting to see how the two guards from Hastings can handle Palladio and his speed, and also McDuffie. If he can have the same game he had in the first time around, scoring 20 points for him, it's going to be a long night for both teams.
Well, it should be a great matchup here. And the officials are bringing the teams together for the pregame sportsmanship talk. That's one of the emphases in all sports. Officials bring both teams together and talk about sportsmanship. So we're about 20 seconds away here, Keith, from the starting festivities.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to bring you the starting lineups on camera. If we can get our cameramen to follow each player as they're announced. We'll do that. We'll get you the starting lineups. We'll get you the national anthem. And then we will bring you Hastings High School basketball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hastings High School and the Cochran Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Alexander Hamilton Raiders and the Hastings Yellow Jackets. We ask that all spectators exhibit good sportsmanship. Please respect your fellow spectators, the coaches, officials, and the players. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, will everyone please rise for playing our national anthem.
We're set here for basketball, Joe, on this Friday evening. I forgot the starting lineups. We got to do that.
For the Alexander Hamilton Raiders, guard, 5'5" freshman, number 5, Brent Palladio. Guard, 5'8", sophomore, number 10, Leon Nichols. Forward, 6'1" sophomore, number 42, James Kent. Forward, 6' junior, number assisted by Rich Vergara, Tyler Fernandez, scorekeeper Jeffrey Hopper Jr. And now here are your Hastings Yellow Jackets. Forward, 6'3" sophomore, number 20, Chris Frelga. Center, 6'3" junior, number 30, Joe Hardy. Guard, 5'10" junior, number 4, Danny Blake. Guard, 5'11" senior, number 5, Jimmy Screw. And forward, 6'5" senior, number 31, George Skrelja. Coach of the Hastings Yellow Jackets, Chris Ward. Assistant coach, Brett Harrington. Athletic director, Drew Wendell.
All right, Joe, now we're ready for basketball.
Yes, we are. You see both in the backcourt position, Hamilton's guards are on the small side, but I'm sure they're going to utilize quickness and speed to make up for their... How you doing?
Yeah, Joe, like I mentioned, Brent Palladio, he's quick. You know, he's probably the quickest player in Section 1.
I have to interrupt. We probably have the top officiating crew here in the section tonight's game.
Absolutely. They are definitely...
They might not be on the court, but they're here somewhere.
Also one of the top football officials.
We're being heckled here by the officiating crew.
Well, I played softball with Carl for about 15 years, so Carl and I know each other pretty well. We played in a lot of tournaments, went away together a lot. And he's an outstanding official. I mean, I think the thing that separates him from the rest of the officials out there is he listens to the coaches. He'll respond to them. He won't just ignore their pleas. He'll actually, if he makes a call, he'll explain why he made the call. He's not going to change it, or he's not going to be influenced by it, but he'll at least explain it.
Hamilton actually center won the tap, but it went to a Hastings player.
Yeah, you know, Hastings showing their patience on offense. What they're going to try and do is show primitive patience, work the ball around like they're doing now, try and get a good outside look for three, or pound it inside deep. So right now, George Skrelja operating. He's looking to go inside. Puts it up, no good. Rebound by Chris Skrelja.
Looks like Keith Hamilton coming out of a man-to-man defense.
That was Dave Nwagu with the shot, no good, blocked by George Skrelja. So that's Skrelja's first block on today. And, you know, again, Hamilton's going to try and look to push the ball up. If they can't do that, they'll try and pound it inside, you know, to McDuffie or Nwagu.
No shot.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
All right, so there was a shot block, not an attempted shot, so they won't reset the 35-second clock. And again, that's Deion Nichols trying to dribble the ball around the perimeter, but the quick guards from Hastings wouldn't allow him to do that.
Hamilton coming out of full court pressure here, trying to use their quickness. And the first time, the pressure pays off, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Screw stepped on the sidelines there, so it's going to be Alexander Hamilton basketball. Still no score in the ball game. 7:08 remaining in the first quarter. Hamilton swinging around the perimeter. Nwagu drives, tries to dump it down low to Penn. It was no good. Screw comes up with it. George Skrelja tries to go the other way with it, but he'll turn the ball over.
Yeah, Nichols with good hands there, knocking the ball out of play.
Yeah, definitely checked that. It wasn't a turnover. He kicked it out of bounds, so it's going to be Hastings basketball. Skrelja inbounds to his older brother George, puts up a shot, no good, and Hamilton comes away with the rebound. Nichols gives it up to Nwagu. He swings around to Palladio for the shot. Rims in and out, no good. Skrelja almost with the rebound, but McDuffie was right there to put it back in.
Duffy, using his height and athletic ability, got the rebound and put this nice soft touch from inside the paint.
You know, that's what McDuffie gives you on the floor. He can run the floor for a big man at 6'4", and he's got great verticality, can get up and get the rebounds. So Skrelja trying to do his work, pinning along the baseline, no good. Flaherty with another offensive rebound. Great job by Flaherty. He went to put it back in, and he was fouled on the play by Penn.
McDuffie and Nuago did a great job on Skrelja. They had position, they had their hands straight up, made it tough for George to get in there. Then Joe's a battler on there, Keith. He's a hustler. He's the blue-collar worker on the Hastings Yellow Jacket Club.
He nails his first foul shot for 1 point.
Keith, if you look at the Hastings team, everyone has a role, and Joe's role is to scrap and bang inside, get those key offensive and defensive rebounds, keep the ball alive, provide a lot of toughness inside.
And he does that. You know, I thought you're his football coach. You taught him some great toughness, and he displays that night in and night out on the basketball floor. That was Dion Nichols draining it from 3. I checked that. That was only from 2. They gave him a 2 on that.
Hamilton staying looks like in the man-to-man. And Segru beats his man for a nice jumper from 12 feet out.
We're all tied up here. 4-4, 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. And that's Nuago dribbling down. No good. And McDuffie well above the rim. Tried to tip it up and in.
Wow,
but it was no good.
He was up there, Keith. Great ups. George Skrelja pushed it up court, drove the basket, and got the foul. And right off the bat, Hamilton has 3 team fouls, none on Hastings. Advantage Hastings.
Yep, that's a foul on McDuffie. That's his first. So Skrelja will shoot from the line. And again, we've touched on this in the broadcast before. Foul shooting is not the best part of his game. But when you're averaging 21 points a game and you're one of the best players in Section 1, you can afford to have one part of your game not be up to par as the rest, because the rest of his game is so high. So Skrelja 0 for 2 on that trip down the floor.
There's Flaherty again.
Down by Flaherty.
Battling.
Nuago with the rebound there. And again, Hamilton trying to swing the ball around the perimeter. That's Palladio up top with it now. And they're going to look to hit an open 3 or pound it down inside of McDuffie. Nice steal by Flaherty there. Segru for 3. No good short. Rebound by Chris Skrelja. And Hastings will look to swing the ball around the perimeter again. Segru setting things up from the point. George Skrelja with the ball on the wing now. Hastings just showing tremendous patience on offense now. Tried to get inside of Flaherty, but McDuffie stole it when Flaherty wasn't looking. And Segru showing his quickness there, poked it away real nice.
McDuffie shows a lot of athleticism, speed, quickness. He's 6'4", but he's not a big body, so he can play in the post and run up and down the court.
Yeah, the official gave the ball to Hastings there, so a break for Hastings early. We're still tied at 4-4 with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Hastings swinging the ball around. They got Blake on top of the key now playing point. George Skrelja wants to make him a one-on-one move. He'll drive into the lane for a quick little 10-footer, and it's good.
Hastings now coming out in their pressure. Usually they like to open up the game with a lot of full court pressure. They get a lot of cheap baskets off of the pressure.
Hamilton attacking that pressure now, and it's Penn trying to drive inside, but that should be an offensive foul call. And he's not going to call an offensive foul. He's going to call traveling on that. So he figured he traveled before he lowered the shoulder. And Hastings allowed the ball with Skrelja bringing it up. Flaherty picking up the loose ball, and that's what he does best. So Segru will look to get it inside. Chris Skrelja's taking off. He's got baseline, goes up for 2. No good. Rebound Flaherty. But he traveled before he could get it off. But again, a nice offensive rebound by Flaherty. He's already got 4 rebounds in the game, and we're only 4.5 minutes into this contest. Hastings up 6-4.
Looks like, Keith, they're playing man on George Skrelji. They're using James Penn, number 42, and David Nuago, number 30.
Nice quick passes by Hamilton. Penn gets it down low, and he'll get a jump ball call. And it looks like Alexander Hamilton coach Drew Watson wants a timeout, and he's going to take a full one. No, he's taking a 30-second timeout.
Looks like, Keith, neither team has really settled down yet. Several traveling calls. Both teams are playing tight defense. We'll credit the defense at this point. I think it's a feeling out process. I think as the game goes on, you'll see the scoring pick up. Right now, it's only 6-4. You expect Hastings and Hamilton playing. You expect it to be in the 60s or 70s, perhaps, not in the 40s. I'm sure the pace will pick up as the nerves kind of disappear and the coaches figure out what strategies will work best to score baskets.
Yeah, well, definitely. We're a little bit more halfway done with the first quarter. Hastings is averaging 20 points per first quarter in their 16 contests so far. So they're well below their average, only scoring 6 points so far. They should have 13, 14 points already. And Alexander Hamilton, they averaged 13 points in the first quarter. This is probably right around where they want to be. And I think this is where Hamilton wants to keep the game. Kind of an even flow up and down game where they can use their athleticism to exploit the Hastings defense.
I think Hamilton's defense has done a great job. The last couple of games that I've seen, teams have played Hastings with a zone, and they're playing straight man-to-man.
McDuffie on there laid it up and in, and it looked like Skrelja had a partial block on that. No goaltending call, and Penn was there to finish it. Hastings resets their offense. Skrelja didn't think he had the layup, so he kicked it around to Flaherty, who switched it around to Segru for the offensive set. Down deep low to Skrelja, and it's good for 2. That's George Skrelja's 4th point tonight. Hastings is up top 8-6.
That's the situation Hastings wants. They want to get George down underneath the basket one-on-one. Usually teams try to double him down, makes it very difficult. Hastings got good ball movement there, and Jimmy Segru got the ball down in there for the one-on-one situation. George is going to win that almost every time.
Yeah, and that's what Hastings is going to look to do. Show patience on the perimeter, try and get it down deep low against the defense, and they did an excellent job executing that. Chris Skrelja did a beautiful job there fighting, got the loose ball, and got pushed, so it'll be Hastings' ball. Chris Skrelja, one-hander, no good. Rebound Flaherty, kicks out to Blake for the open 3, and it's good. Danny Blake for 3.
Well, Blake and Skrelja worked a nice little give and go there. The shot just didn't fall for Chris, but it was a nice job. Here's Hastings again in their full court zone pressure.
Yeah, Joe, that's what they're going to look to do. Full court pressure, make it take a wild shot that wasn't. Palladio did a nice job of settling down before let it go, and it dropped in for good.
Hastings has not just played one type of zone pressure. They have several in the bag of tricks. I was at practice the other day, we're working and coaching here. I got a little inside look at practices and team meetings and talking with Coach Ward. And they have their basic zone pressure, but they put another zone pressure in last week, and they'll unveil that from time to time just to give teams a little different look.
Well, they're giving Hamilton a different look now. I think Hamilton's confused. Their last couple of trips down the floor, they haven't been able to convert, and I think it's due to the Hastings defense. Again, they get the ball down deep to Skrelja, and he's able to convert for 2.
Keith, they get the ball down there, it's going to be trouble. They have to double George down low, or he's going to beat him man every time. Hamilton's going to sub 2 players here.
Number 13, Mike Arciola, and number 3, Rashawn Dubois, check in the game.
Give me the numbers.
Hey, 12, 12, 12! Up, Mike, up, jump up! Let him go, go ahead.
Hastings playing man now. This defense is set.
Don't force it.
Jimmy Segru on the break. Nice hustle. Hastings keeps the ball alive.
And a good job. Hastings needs to settle down now, try and work their offense and get a good shot. They're up 13-8 with under a minute to play in the first quarter. And again, Scruggs gets the ball down deep. Joe, who got the defensive rebound for Hastings down the other end? Did you happen to see there?
I missed that.
Okay, no problem. We'll get that. Joe Flaherty checking out of the ball game now.
Josh Schneider checks in, number 34. Joe's a little under the weather right now. A little cold and flu season, so Coach Ward, you try to give him a little extra rest between the period ending and taking him out about 40 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And did George Scruggs come to play tonight or what? He's got 8 out of the Hastings 15 points so far, and he looks very nimble underneath the basket. Steal by Danny Blake there, and Hastings looking down the other end of the floor. They're up 15-8 with 20 seconds remaining in the quarter. And Scruggs with a running one-hander, it was no good.
Mike Arciola had good position there, so Schneider went over the back for the second team foul for Hastings. 19.4 seconds left here in the first quarter. Hastings 15, Hamilton 8.
McGrew is showing some great ball handling skills. Get the ball up and down the floor for a shot. It was no good. And Dubois grabs the rebound. Steps out of bounds. So it'll be Hastings basketball with 5.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They're up 15-8. Blake gets it, gives up to Segru. Over the corner to George. It's good if it goes. No good. Off the rim, no good. And that would have given Hastings a 10-point lead in the first quarter.
So winning 15-8, up by 7. They did a nice job, Keith, with 5 seconds to go. One of the mistakes many teams make with that 4, 5, 6 seconds to go is they don't really realize how long a time that is. That they had time to make several good passes, and they got a good look and a good shot. It wasn't just, it wasn't one of those miracle heaves. It was a good attempt at three-pointer, and that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely, Joe. And I think that just shows you a little insight into the type of playmaker Jim Segru is. Danny Blake got the ball, gave it up to Jimmy right away. Segru quickly, I couldn't see if you could see on the monitor, but I could see in his head, he quickly looked at the scoreboard, saw he had 2 seconds left. He knew he could hit George Scruggs in the corner as opposed to taking a 30-foot shot. He'd rather get the 19-foot jump shot from George. He did. But that's what a heady player Segru is. He could see the whole floor. He knew how much time there was left on the clock because he looked at it while he was dribbling. I mean, I can't even walk and dribble at the same time. This kid's looking at the scoreboard. But, he did an unbelievable job there, and that's the kind of leadership that Hastings Yellow Jackets have gotten all year long from Jim Segru.
2 points there, Keith. You can't really walk and do much of anything, and we don't have a monitor for me to look at.
No, the people at home looking at their TVs at home.
Okay, so here we go. Second quarter, 15-8 Hastings. We'll recap the foul situation. 14 fouls on Hamilton, 2 on Hastings. Nobody's in foul trouble. Hastings looking to extend the lead right away.
So Segru will set the offense for Hastings. He gets it across to Blake, and Blake's going to look to free himself up for a shot or get it down low. He takes the shot, no good rebound, Scruggs. And again, he'll set it back out and try and set the offense up for Blake. Kind of running one-handed there, but the official called the foul.
Michael McDuffie with a nice block, but it was a foul before. So Blake will shoot 2.
That's McDuffie's second foul on the evening.
That could be critical as the game goes on, Keith. If he gets in foul trouble, that will definitely hurt the Hamilton cause.
Check that foul was on Dion Nichols, not McDuffie. So McDuffie still has 1.
David Nuaga checks in.
He's in for Rashawn Dubois.
Hastings definitely winning the offensive on the offensive glass, Keith. It seems every time they miss a shot, they're not particularly shooting great, but they're getting 2 or 3 opportunities every time.
Absolutely. Chris Scruggs, I was getting on him last night about not coming to play against Stucco. He came to play tonight. He's got 4 rebounds already, and that's what his game is. He's a complimentary player in this offense. He's got to grab rebounds and play good defense, and so far he's doing that. As Blake got the open look for 3 and drained it.
Keith, he's a streak shooter. Oh, there's a nice steal by Jimmy Segru. There, Hastings pressure. Getting a cup, before I said, cheap basket, a garbage basket. It's not really. It's a result of good defense, hard work, a lot of hustle, and every coach, you want to shoot layups. You don't want to shoot 30-foot jump shots. You want to shoot layups, and the defense pressure turns the turnovers into easy baskets.
Definitely. And I think that's the key thing that Hastings does. They show beautiful perimeter patience. So if they get the open look for three, they'll take it. But what they're really looking to do is get the ball inside for that layup. And what happens a lot of times is teams swing around. They end up overcommitting to the perimeter because that's where the ball's going. They come out a little bit. George Skrelja makes a nice big target at 6'5", posts up well, and they can get the ball down low to him for that easy layup. And you've seen that tonight.
Well, when Danny Blake, he gets hot, Hastings is tough to beat because you definitely have to collapse on George and Chris Skrelja down low. And then you got to, when Danny's shooting hot, you got to come out and cover him. If you don't, he'll kill you with the threes. And it looks like tonight he's got the feeling.
So Hastings still stays in their full court press, trying to get Hamilton to commit into the corner like they are right now and try and get a trap. Although that just shows you Hamilton's quickness, because Nichols was able to beat that press as soon as they got the ball across half court. He turned it over, but he was able to beat the press.
That's a 1-2-1-1 press. Sometimes it's called a diamond in one. James Kennedy's fourth grade CYO team runs the same press. Last week he had his team, instead of practicing, they watched the varsity team run the same press, and they execute and they use it in their games.
Nice rebound by Chris Skrelja. That's his fifth one of the ball game. He tried to get it down deep inside. They couldn't do it, turned it over. But, again, Hastings showing patience on offense. That was a good shot by George Skrelja. He was straight up to the hoop. He just missed it. That happens. Another turnover by Hamilton, and Blake will be open for the two. He shoots an air ball, no good.
The problem there,
by Palladio.
The problem there, Keith, was he was inside the three-point line. He's not used to that.
Skrelja with his sixth rebound of the day.
So Hastings winning 20-8 right now. 6:30 to go, second quarter.
And again, they get the ball in deep to Skrelja, and he was able to convert. He's got 10 of Hastings' 22 points. Nice defense by Skrelja again, and they get the turnover.
That was Chris Skrelja, the sophomore, using his athletic ability and his height, blocking the pass, hit off the Hamilton player, out of bounds, Hastings ball. Hey, Hamilton's switching to a zone now. Looks like a 2-3 zone, Keith.
That's a 2-3 zone, and Danny Blake just got to bust that zone. That ball was almost in and out. No good. Nichols tries to bring it down the court, and he ends up getting fouled by Blake there. So that's Danny Blake's first foul of the evening, Hastings' third team foul. Nichols will look to inbound for Hamilton. He gets it out to Palladio. Palladio calls out the play. And look at that defense, making Hamilton start their offense from half court. That's tough. Segru with the turnover, picked up all the pass off the turnover, gets it to Skrelja, and he walked before he could get going. But again, nice job defensively by Hastings there, Joe.
Well, Keith, it seems like there's a hand in every passing lane. Every pass is contested. They're going to make Hamilton really work, and so far it's paying off.
Nagu inbounds to Palladio. They swing it around. That's McDuffie, the center, bringing the ball up the court. Palladio for an open three, and it's good.
23!
So Palladio, the leading scorer for Hamilton, with 5, and they trail 22-11 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Skrelja swings it across to Segru for the open three, and he nails it.
They're only going to give him 2 there. I think both referees agree that his foot was on the line.
They thought he was open for 3. A steal by Danny Blake. Nice job stripping the center.
Hastings wants McDuffie to be handling the ball. You can see what happens. He's a big man. Doesn't have the ball handling skills.
Skrelja penetrated nicely there, just couldn't convert on the 2-foot layup. Nice job boxing out by Schneider. He
Josh
pulls the
Schneider,
rebound.
textbook box out.
Again, a backing up and down game. George Skrelja, a couple times down the floor, has put some funky shots onto the basket and hasn't really been really solid fundamentally putting the ball against the backboard and in. He's missed the last couple. Otherwise, you know, Hastings could be running away with this game, even though they are up 24-11. They could be up 30-11 right now.
Well, Hamilton in the zone defense, so we're going to see if Hastings can hit the outside shots, take advantage of the weakness of the zone.
So Hastings showing patience now. Swinging the ball on perimeter. Schneider for an open look, no good. Rebound, Segru. He puts it up, again, no good. Hastings, Hamilton coming down the other end. Nwagu puts it up, no good. Rebound, Skrelja will go back the other way. He gives it up to Blake for the layup, no good. And that's Dubois.
David Nwagu finishing on the fast break. The tempo picking up the last minute, Keith. A little up and down. Both teams having fast break opportunities, not really converting until Nwagu made the layup and was fouled, and he'll shoot one.
Yeah, and it's a pretty sloppy game the last 2 or 3 minutes. Teams up and down the floor. Nobody's converting. Nobody's putting the ball through the basket, through into the hole.
So Mike Arceo checking in for Hamilton. Colin Powers, number 11, checking in for Hastings. 24-13 Hastings. 3:44 go, second period.
Nwagu drains it, and it's 24-14. Hastings on top.
That was an N1? That was N1? Or no?
Yes. So Blake swings the ball around to Schneider, kicks it around to Powers, and Hastings showing some nice patience on offense, gets the ball in deep to Skrelja for the 10-footer. It's good.
They had a mismatch there in the zone. Arceolo, only about 5'10". George Skrelja at 6'5". It was an easy jump shot for George in the paint.
And again, Hastings is dictating the pace by putting their press on, and Hamilton just converted the last couple times down the floor.
So Powers now at the point in for Jimmy Segru.
Hastings swinging the ball around. Chris Skrelja looking to hit one from the corner. He doesn't have an open look, so they get it down to George for the 10-footer. This one's short. Rebound by Skrelja, and it's good. Nice job by Chris Skrelja there.
Again, they had the mismatch in the paint. They're playing a shorter player in the middle of that 2-1-2 or that 2-3 zone. George missed the shot, but brother Chris with a nice tip.
Yeah, Chris Skrelja really did come to play today, boy. He's playing excellent, filling the roles that he needs to fill. Foul on Chris Skrelja, that's his first. Hastings team fourth. So Hamilton will have the ball inbounding. Looks like Arceolo will look to inbound it for Hamilton. Gets it to Dubois, swings it around to Palladio. Nwagu in the corner, looks like he could be trapped, but Hamilton gets it out. They'll look to get it inside to McDuffie. He goes up strong and converts for the 2. Hastings on top 28-19 with 2:05 remaining in the first half. Blake to the open 3. This looks short. Nwagu with the rebound. Steal by Danny Blake. He'll go for the layup. Can he convert? Yes, he can. And it's 30-19. Hastings on top.
Good anticipation on the pass there, Keith. Good defense leads to easy transition offense.
Palladio's shot no good. Rebound by George Skrelja. That's his second of the game. He looks to get it out and run. All the way across to Blake for the open 3, and it's good.
That was a beautiful no-look pass there, Keith. I don't know if you noticed on your monitor. George looked at a different player, but hit Blake, and then Blake drained the 3.
So I don't have a monitor. The fans at home have the monitor. It's called the TV set. But I did see there was a no-look pass. You know, that's the thing. You know, I've been saying this all broadcast. I don't know if you've seen any of the broadcasts so far, but that's the one, you know, there are many things that impress me about George Skrelja, one of them being how he sees the entire floor. He can see all 9 players on the court besides himself all at the same time, which leads to some beautiful no-look passes on his part.
James Penn checks in for Hamilton. Joe Flattery in for Hastings.
Wild shot by Arciola, no good. Rebound by Flaherty. Joe Flaherty checks in the game and picks up another rebound.
It looked like Hamilton made a little run there to get a little closer, and Hastings has kind of stretched the lead out again.
George Skrelja, the last 3 times down the floor, has picked up 3 rebounds, so he's picking it up.
Dion Nichols checks in for Hamilton. 40 seconds left here, second quarter. 33 Hastings, 16 Hamilton, 19 Hamilton, check that.
McDuffie with the shot, no good. Rebound Flaherty. Hastings swinging the ball around, trying to get the Skrelja down low. They do. And it was a nice look by Powers into Skrelja down deep. Skrelja couldn't convert, but he got fouled.
Colin's doing a nice job at the point, subbing in for Jimmy Segru, getting him some rest. Colin always gives quality minutes. He did a nice job, showed a lot of patience, and fired a 2-handed pass right into George, which led to the foul shot opportunity.
George no good on that foul shot. He's 0 for 3 tonight from the line. And Hastings is still on top, 33-19, here with 20 ticks left on the clock in the first half. Skrelja's second foul shot, no good, and rebound by Penn. He kicks it up to Nichols, trying to get the offense started, looking for McDuffie on the inside. Iwagu looking to drive down deep. Carl called the foul there on Skrelja. I don't know. It looked like he was just straight up and down, but that's George's first foul. So Iwagu will have 2 foul shot opportunity with 4.5 seconds remaining in the first half, and his team trailing 33-19.
One more.
So Keith, looks like the halftime score is going to be, the lead will be very similar to the last time they met. Hastings up by 14 last time. It looks like it's going to be 12, unless we make that.
Oh! Chris Skrelja almost nailed that.
So, at the end of the first half, Hastings 33, Hamilton 21.
Did you see I got my hands full?
Right now, Joe, we're going to bring you the Hastings dance team and the Hastings cheerleaders, and then we will have a scoring recap and bring you the second half action. So we're back for second half action here. Let's get the scoring recap. For Hastings, George Skrelja had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 personal foul. Chris Skrelja, 2 points, 7 big rebounds, 1 personal foul. Jimmy Screw had 6 points, 2 rebounds. Danny Blake, big first half for him. He had 11 points, 1 personal foul. Joe Flaherty had 2 points, 7 rebounds, 1 personal foul. Josh Snyder had a rebound and a foul. For Alexander Hamilton, Michael McDuffie, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 foul. Brent Palladio, 4 points. Check that, 5 points, 1 foul. Dion Nichols, 2 points, 1 foul. Dave Nuagu had 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 personal foul. James Penn, 2 points, 1 foul. And Mike Garciola, 2 personal fouls.
Well, Keith, what jumps out right away to me is rebounds. Hastings is controlling the glass. They had 2 players with 7 rebounds. So they're getting multiple opportunities on the offensive end, and they're holding Hamilton to 1 opportunity on the defensive end. And if you do that, in the end of the game, you're probably going to win with the talent that Hastings has. So they have a 12-point lead, and you can probably say it's due to Danny Blake's 3-point shooting, George Skrelja's athleticism, and Chris Skrelja's and Joe Flaherty's rebounds.
Yeah, that's definitely been the key. You know, that's a great formula for some good offensive and defensive production, and we've seen that. You know, Hastings slightly below their season average, only scoring 33 points in the first half. But, you know, a little bit I think that was a little sloppy play in the beginning. Hastings is used to Hastings averaging 36 points, 37 points in the first half. So like I said, just slightly below their first half average. But again, overall, I think that's due to Hamilton's defense than anything else.
By the way, I think, Keith, they should rename the gym Phoenix, Arizona.
Why is that, Joe?
Because it is hot in here right now, like Phoenix in July. Not a big fan of the hot, Keith.
Coach Ward likes it. He's from South Carolina. He likes the heat turned up. He's used to it.
Coach McCarroll doesn't like it.
And Coach McCarroll's been here for 38 years or something like that, and Coach Ward's been here for 1. Well, Hastings will start it off on offense. And again, they're showing some nice patience. Skrelja no good for 3, and it's rebounded by McDuffie. Hamilton swinging around. Nuagu for 3, no good. Rebound by Penn, finally controlled by McDuffie. And Hamilton not showing too much patience on offense, but they're retaining possession of the ball.
Well, I think they wanted to come out with a lot of energy.
They certainly have, because they've just gotten 3 rebounds real quick. Finally, Danny Blake comes down with it for Hastings.
Coach Watson pleased with that first trip down court. Well, obviously, it looked like it was a halftime adjustment to pick up the pace of the offensive course and try to get as many shots as they could.
That's McDuffie's 2nd foul. First team foul for Hamilton as Hastings gets the ball inbounds, and they're going to work it around the perimeter. Chris Skrelja looking to get something going for Hastings. Segru with it now. Tried to force it inside the Flaherty, and Nuagu picked it off. So Palladio will bring it back for Hamilton. Good anticipation by Blake again, and he gets the turnover.
Danny tried to lead Chris Skrelja with the breakaway pass. It was just a little too far. Good idea, just didn't execute.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that pass. But again, it was a good idea. Hastings on top, 33-21 with 6:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Hastings coming out in looks like a 1-3-1, almost at half court. Just a little change-up.
Rebound by Flaherty. That's his 8th of the game. And Hastings will get another opportunity. Nice job by Jimmy Segru penetrating there.
So here, Hamilton saw several defenses in the first half. They spent halftime making adjustments. Now Hastings comes out in a totally different look after Hamilton has spent halftime making adjustments to the other defenses. little chess match here.
Yeah, nice job on both squads. And again, Hamilton's doing a very nice job this half of pounding the offensive glass, dominating so far, rebounding the ball to Hastings' defense. And they've gotten numerous opportunities, but they haven't been able to convert on any of them.
Now Hamilton counters with a 1-3-1 half-court press.
Skrelja does a nice job stepping through the double team and pass it to Chris, but he traveled. Nice job by George Skrelja stepping through the double team there and creating an open opportunity for himself to pass the ball.
So both coaches at halftime made adjustments and came out with some different defenses.
Like you said, Joe, the chess match is on.
If you come out after the second half with the adjustment, it doesn't really allow the other team to get to the chalkboard and talk about it. They're going to have to make adjustments on the run and during the timeout. And I'll tell you, that 1 minute goes real fast.
Nice look down low by Skrelja to Flaherty, and he was able to put the ball on the glass and picked up a foul. That'd be James Penn.
George.
5-0.
Did not hear the number, Keith. George was penetrating to his left and made a no-look pass with his right hand off the backhand down to Flaherty low.
First foul shot by Flaherty, no good. He's 2 for 3 from the line tonight. Joe's got 8 rebounds so far tonight.
Joe's a proud product of Mariana Drive on the south edge of Hastings.
Loyal HOH viewers are very familiar with Mr. Flaherty. He's been on a lot this year. As Danny Blake gets the turnover, kicks it out to the playmaker, Segru, and he gives it right back for an open look at 3. Nailed it.
And Hamilton, Coach Drew Watson wants a timeout as Hastings extends its lead to 18.
39-21. Hastings on top, 5:05 remaining in the third quarter.